All right, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Is Tudor still having quality control issues? Yep. Let me tell you what happened to me. Hold tight. All right, guys, welcome back. So I wanted to talk about my issues with Tudor currently. And I'm going to go over Tudor as a company. If you're not familiar with them, maybe you're watching this and you're thinking about buying one. So Tudor is part of Rolex. It was a sister company of Rolex, but it pretty much ends there. The whole concept of Tudor was that they're using Rolex cases with third-party movements. They never hid from that. You buy a Tudor, you're probably getting an ETA movement, or a chronograph, you're getting a Valjoux movement. That wasn't a problem. I didn't really have a problem with that, and most people understood that when they were buying a Tudor, and it was going to be a chronometer-grade ETA movement. No issues there. Well, for about a decade, Tudor wasn't selling in the United States. They came back in 2013. Well, in 2010, they started forming a movement company called Kinesi. They manufacture their own movements, but prior to 2010, they really didn't exist. So Tudor came up with this new caliber. It came out in 2015, but in addition to them putting out their first caliber in 2015, they started selling their movements to other manufacturers: Breitling, Bell & Ross, Fortis, Chanel, Tag Heuer. So Kinesi is selling that, I guess, Tudor movement to all these other manufacturers because ETA is not letting it out of the Swatch Group. ETA is keeping their movement to themselves. ETA is owned by the Swatch Group, and they're keeping it. So you've seen an increase in Sellita sales, Soprod sales, and now Kinesi's movement, Tudor hybrid, going out there. I don't have a problem with that. Where I'm seeing the problem with Tudor is on all the forums, you're seeing a lot of issues with the loom pip on the diver being misaligned or just falling off, indices falling off, dust on the dial. One posting I saw where the movement just stopped running and they had to completely replace the case. These are all on all the forums. I suggest you go read about them. So you're like, well, what's that have to do with me? I saw it firsthand. I go to the AD. They had the Black Bay 54, which is what I wanted. It was the right size. Even though I knew of the quality control issues, I felt, well, if I look it over at the AD, then I should be fine. The first Tudor I ever wanted. He pulls it out of the box. Loom pip is off. Not lying. And I thought, man, this is right here in the AD, brand new in the box. 2 weeks ago in my hand, I even had him look at it through the loop. I was like, this is amazing. You don't even see this on a Seiko or a Citizen costing $200. After that, I pretty much felt like if I buy a Tudor, I'm always going to have this thought in the back of my head that something's going to go wrong with it. Something's going to fall off. I just feel like the quality control isn't there. Tudor is not a Rolex. I mean, it's a very, very distant cousin. I really don't know what influence is even there. Movement is not even associated with Rolex. Maybe there's some management and design influence, and I really haven't heard any issues with the movement other than the GMT early on. And that's to be expected with a new movement coming out. I'll give them that. But with the quality control that you can read about on every forum from Facebook to Reddit, it's amazing. I've never seen a watch with more quality control issues with their indices and bezel alignment than with the Seiko SKX. And that was to be expected with a $200, $180 watch. This is a $4,000, $5,000 watches that are having these issues. One guy showed his loom pip just started to shrink and disappear. So I think if you're entertaining a Tudor because either, number one, you can't get a Rolex because of the wait list, and you're just going to settle for a Tudor, don't do it. Number two, you're just not a Rolex person. They don't have anything that you want, and you've seen something by Tudor that you like and you want to get. Still, I would wait, because the problem with the Tudor is even once you walk out the AD, it's going to diminish in price. It's no different than a Breitling or a Tag Heuer or an Omega. They're going to go down in value. It's not a Rolex, so what is the benefit of getting it? Get on the waiting list for the Rolex, buy a Rolex on the gray market, or buy an Omega at a discount, like an Aquaterra, or buy a Zenith. Go buy a Zenith chronograph. You can get a Zenith with an El Primero movement, which was in the Rolex Daytona. It's a proven brand that doesn't seem to have quality control issues. If you're wanting something that's a lower end luxury brand, that you don't feel like waiting for Rolex, or you're just not a Rolex person, look at Omega, look at Zenith, look at something else. I wouldn't be putting my money into Tudor right now. I really don't see the benefit. I don't see the quality that you would be getting that's supposed to be associated with Rolex. Hey, they're part of Rolex, a Rolex sister company. If it was me, I would probably take a step back from Tudor. And if you bought one, I would really be worried about buying one on eBay that someone's trying to dump that's got an issue. You know, waiting 6 to 8 months to have the bezel fixed on a brand new watch you just paid $4,000 for. Just go on YouTube, go on these forums and read about the stories, watch the videos. And honestly, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that that one was messed up, because there's probably something else that was going to be wrong with it. So if you've seen these issues, you've got one with these issues, I'd love to see it or hear your story, or put your comments below. And again, as always, I appreciate you tuning in to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews.